We have some breaking news and some major news. The Philadelphia Eagles pulling off a stunning trade. They have their new backup quarterback after a trade with the Pittsburgh Steelers and bringing in Kenny Pickett. And then it's been another active day for Philadelphia. Josh Sweat restructuring his contract for 2024. He is back. Does that mean that Haason Reddick is now gone? Let's begin here with just a move that I did not see coming. Completely coming out of left field. Philadelphia Eagles trading for Steelers quarterback Kenny Pickett. And Adam Schefter breaking the news just a little while ago on this Friday afternoon that the Steelers sending quarterback Kenny Pickett to the Eagles in a pick swap. Sources tell ESPN, once Pittsburgh signed Russell Wilson, Pickett preferred to move on. And according to reports, and we'll get to the trade details coming up here in just a moment, Pickett did not handle the acquisition of Russell Wilson well. He also pouted and refused to be the quarterback 3 at the end of last year for the Steelers. So they got rid of him. And as we know, Howie Roseman and the Eagles always invest and always take very seriously the backup quarterback position. A cool story here is that Pickett grew up in New Jersey as an Eagles fan. He was a 3-star recruit in high school. He actually committed to play at Temple University under Matt Rule. And then he decided to go to Pittsburgh, played out there, and was a terrific quarterback on the western part of the state. As for the trade details here, it's not a trade in which the Eagles are giving up nothing. But again, they're willing to pay and invest in quarterback 2. Eagles get Kenny Pickett and a 2024 third-round pick, as well as 2 7th-round picks. And then the Steelers get a 2024 third-round selection. So that is the trade details that are being reported as of right now. And for those of you who are shocked out there, I wanted Justin Fields. What are the Eagles doing? Philadelphia needed a quarterback too after Marcus Mariota left. And Pickett was an accomplished college quarterback at Pitt. He put up big numbers. And in turn, you get a quarterback who has a lot of starting experience. 24 starts under his belt. It hasn't all been good. He's got small hands, doesn't have a bazooka for an arm. He doesn't give you much in the form of running the football because he's not that good of an athlete. And you look at the numbers here, 7-5 in 2022, completed 63% of his passes. He threw for 2,400 yards, 6.2 yards per reception, and then 7 touchdowns and 9 picks. And then this past year with Pittsburgh, got a little bit of a runway in being the team's starting quarterback. He went 7-5 once again and completed 62% of his passes, more than 2,000 yards, 6.4 average yards per completion, and then 6 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. So clearly the number's not all that good for Kenny Pickett. But I will say this, the Steelers' offensive staff was a joke. Matt Canada is not an offensive coordinator at the NFL level, and Philadelphia has devoted a lot of resources to the skill positions. On the offensive side of the football, they have A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. They bring in Saquon Barkley. And their offensive staff and their offensive scheme, much more modern age, a lot more explosive, a lot better than what Pittsburgh had to offer. And Howie Roseman has joked, like, we're a quarterback factory here in Philadelphia. Kenny Pickett, welcome to the quarterback factory. And going back to the previous point that I made of the Eagles having a rich history of backup quarterbacks getting paid, playing a lot, playing in big moments, and having success just in my lifetime here. We've seen Coy Detmer step in big moments. A.J. Feely had to do the same under Andy Reid. Then came Jeff Garcia. Michael Vick was originally signed to be a backup behind Donovan McNabb. Nick Foles stepped in for Carson Wentz and delivered a Super Bowl after he went insane and bonkers in that playoff run, especially in the NFC Championship game against Minnesota, and then in the Super Bowl against a Bill Belichick-led defense. They've paid Gardner Minshew, and now they're doing the same thing with Kenny Pickett. This is an organizational philosophy here for the Eagles that they prioritize this spot. So grade the trade for Kenny Pickett. A, B, C, D, or F. Get those pens out. Let me know. Also, if you want a Saquon Barkley jersey or another Eagles jersey, we have you hooked up. But the Saquon Barkley is going to be rocking the number 26. The font on the chest of the Eagles jerseys, it is changing for the first time in a long time. As you can see, it's more that modern font that you see in the end zone now. Chatsports.com/Saquon jersey. That is the link that you have to use. Some terrific deals right now. Whitehall High School, Lehigh Valley, Penn State. Welcome home, Saquon. Can't wait for him to run wild, especially against the Giants. More news to get to on this Friday. Josh Sweat, he's staying. Eagles are restructuring his contract so that he can stay with Philadelphia. Ian Rappaport breaking this news, that Eagles pass rusher Josh Sweat staying with the Birds. Sources tell me and Tom Pelissero he's agreed to terms on a restructured deal despite interest elsewhere for what likely would have been a pay increase. Philadelphia keeps a good one home. More information from Jeremy Fowler. Josh Sweat staying with the Eagles on a restructured deal, $10 million guaranteed plus incentives. Max deal of $13 million. Not bad for him. He had no guarantees prior, so this gives Sweat security entering a contract year. 6.5 sacks in 2023. He had a career year in 2022 with 11 sacks, and over his last 4 years, he's developed into a very good defensive end, very productive defensive end, a player who the Eagles bet on, they invested in, and in a way, they are going from not giving him any guaranteed money to helping him out a little bit with the max deal up to $13 million. His numbers in 2023 certainly not as good as they were in 2022. Overall Pro Football Focus grade of 68.3, a run defense grade of 53.3, still a very good pass rush grade at 74.1, 68 pressures and 45 hurries, which were a lot more, funny enough, compared to 2022, but the sack numbers went down and the Pro Football Focus numbers went down. 86.6 was the overall grade in 2022 as he put together that career year. Run defense grade of 80.5, pass rush grade 82.1, and then you see the 43 pressures as well as the 23 hurries. His play down the stretch in 2023 was a little bit concerning. Hopefully, though, final year of his deal, he is reinvigorated to a certain degree and very motivated to get another bag. The big question becomes, what does this mean for Haason Reddick? Because last weekend and throughout this week, we're talking about Josh Sweat and or Haason Reddick being traded or let go altogether. You add Bryce Huff, you have Nolan Smith, you bring back Brandon Graham, you restructure the deal of Josh Sweat. Is the writing on the wall that Haason Reddick is now gone? According to Jeff Kerr, CBS, Reddick's been adamant that he wants to stay with Philadelphia. I mean, he grew up right over the bridge in New Jersey. He went to Temple and was awesome in 2022 in his first season with the Eagles with 16 sacks. Still very good in 2023 with 11 sacks. He's one of 3 players over the last 4 years to have double-digit sacks alongside Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year, and Leonard Floyd. Very productive player. Now, if the Eagles traded Reddick pre-June 1, the cap hit would be $21.3 million. Dead cap, $19.1. The cap savings, only $2.2 million. If it's a post-June 1 trade, though, the cap hit $21.3 million. Dead cap, 5.4 in 2024, 13.6 in 2025, and then you save money in $15.9 million in the form of that for 2024. I think what makes a lot of sense is just extending Haason Reddick and giving him a semi-long-term deal, and then you have Reddick, Nolan Smith, Bryce Huff for the long haul. You lose Josh Sweat and Brandon Graham after this year, and for 2024, you've got depth, you've got high-end play, and you've got guys who can hunt the quarterback under Vic Fangio. So interesting stuff on this Friday. If you like these moves, make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, but also subscribe to the show because when breaking news happens, we talk about it. Hope you're all getting set to have a fantastic weekend. Of course, if breaking news happens, regardless of where I am, we're going to discuss it.